Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So are we in a good spot right now with regards to accumulating cryptocurrency, or are we in for more pain before the gain? Guys, I saw this from Sentiment Trader here on Twitter. Sometimes there's a chart that just blows your hair back. In 22 years of doing this, none stand out like this one. Okay, this is a bit of a doom and gloom tweet, guys. I gotta warn you, last week institutional traders bought $8.1 billion worth of put options. That means they are betting that the market is going to go down. They bought less than $1 billion in call options, which means they are betting that the market is going to go up. This is 3 times more extreme than back in 2008. And so you guys can see the chart here, institutional trader net speculative options premiums in the billions. And so this is the future of what they're projecting. Last week's panic hedging was 3x more extreme than we saw back in 2008, which was down in and around here. So 3 times as dramatic. Of course, the market has been falling, not just with regards to cryptocurrency, but traditional markets as well. This is the S&P 500 on the daily, guys. And, just to kind of give you a sense of where we're at with regards to the S&P, throwing a Fibonacci on here. From the top to the bottom, you guys can see we did almost retrace back to the 0.618. We're finding support, though, back down at the 0.236, down in around here. And as you guys can see on the daily, if I zoom in here, you can see that day yesterday, because as of the time of this recording, the market has not opened yet. This was a candlestick from yesterday. We did see a big bullish green day. We did not see this retrace to the 0.702. So it's kind of different than what we saw back in 2008. Then again, we may not have seen the bottom yet. If we take this and bring it to here, just to kind of give you guys a sense of what I'm looking at here and the comparison that I'm looking at, that initial downturn almost hitting the 0.618 up here. If we were to compare that trend to today, we would be in and around here somewhere. And so we did see a bit of a rebound off the 0.236 back in 2008. That would have been June 2008 before the market collapsed even further. And so what does this mean? Are we in for more pain? 3 times the put options as we saw back in 2008. And I mean, just take a look at the world. This from Clown World Today. By the way, I love this Twitter account, bringing us all the most ridiculous world news there is. This is the latest. Switzerland considers jailing anyone who heats a room above 19 degrees Celsius. And just to give you guys a sense of what that is, if you are American, that is 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, you can get up to 3 years in jail if the country is forced to ration gas due to the Ukrainian war. And this is no joke, this just came out yesterday. We also have mandatory targets for reducing electricity use at peak hours. This again in Europe from the EU. Listen to this.
And this is what is expensive, because in these peak demands, the expensive gas comes into the market. So what we have to do is flatten the curve and avoid the peak demands. We will propose a mandatory target for reducing electricity use at peak hours. And we will work very closely with the member states to achieve this.
Oh, flatten the curve. You gotta be kidding me. Stop with it. Stop. Gold Telegraph also putting out the warnings. Vladimir Putin said today that traditional reserve currencies like the US dollar and the euro have lost their credibility as a basis for international settlements. Things are about to get even wilder in the currency markets, guys. So what should all countries agree on? Gold? And yeah, they are buying gold. Now, I don't talk too much about precious metals on this channel, but on occasion I do mention that I do hold physical precious metals, because who knows? It doesn't hurt to be prepared. I've never been a gold bug or a precious metal bug or any of that. But it's not a bad idea to hedge your bets, guys. I hold some cryptocurrency. I try to keep cash balances in my account at a minimum. Buying hard assets, this is really where you're going to be able to hedge against what is going on here. And I mean, in terms of crypto, the cryptocurrencies that are going to solve problems, these are kind of, or rather, I'm going to liken them to hard assets for future use, because we know these are going to be the cryptocurrencies, again, that solve problems. So those are going to be the ones that are going to be valuable, not this Shiba Inu crap, the XRPs, the Algorand, just naming some of the other WEF coins, the Solanos, the Cilos, the Cardanos, the XLMs. I do hold a little bit of Bitcoin as well. So guys, this is the sentiment. world events, this is what's happening right now. But even as this is going on, we are still seeing Ripple partners innovate, forging new partnerships. I saw this one from Mike Manfield here. This has to do with Ripple partner Standard Chartered. They are now testing solutions to mitigate duplicate trade finance fraud risk. So Ripple partner Standard Chartered has successfully completed an industry-first pilot testing of the trade financing validation service provided by Monetago over SWIFT to mitigate the risks of duplicate trade finance fraud on a global scale. So here you go. With a view to effectively detecting, deterring, and preventing duplicate financing, the trade financing validation service powered by fintech Monetago's secure financing system is the first natively global solution that is interoperable between markets. So another solution here, interoperable between markets, that has been a key term, for the developers that are, I've heard it now from XRPL developers and Algorand developers, keeping the blockchain interoperable. This is going to be where the future is, because it's not going to be a one coin rules them all situation. So we have Ripple partner Standard Chartered dabbling in these tests on the security front to prevent financial fraud risk. Interesting news there. Wanted to thank Mike for pointing that out. I also saw this, guys, with Ripple-enabled Temenos. Now, they are one of the bigger Ripple-enabled partners. They do IT backend stuff for banks and financial institutions. They just partnered with Bahawan Cybertech to expand market presence in India, Sri Lanka, among other countries. So global banking platform Temenos and digital transformation firm Bawan Cybertech, so Bawan Cybertech is what they're called, said they have signed an exclusive agreement for 7 years to scale the former's operation in India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan. Under the agreement, BCT will market, implement, and support Temenos' products and solutions in these countries, and also help Temenos expand its market coverage and deepen local expertise. We are pleased to forge this partnership with Temenos, this is a quote, as it increases our visibility and reach in the banking industry. Financial institutions are facing intense pressures from customer demands, regulations, and competition from new players. This places us in a strong position to drive digital transformation for banks and financial institutions. So it appears that behind the scenes, the banks are getting stronger. They're forming alliances. They're realizing that moving money, cross-border payments, and everything else bank-related is going to be moving on the blockchain, right? The tokenization of everything. I just did a video yesterday where, who was it? It was Tony McLaughlin. He's from Citibank. He was basically saying that everything is going to be tokenized and put on the blockchain. And so I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch yesterday's video. We're also seeing it now with many Ripple partners, right? 2021 and 2022 have now been the years where we are seeing that expansion. Ripple partners be getting more partnerships, so the secondary and tertiary partnerships. There was also this from the Cryptic Poet here. So I was talking about Yes Bank yesterday, and in that same article they were mentioning, or somebody was mentioning Axis Bank. I guess this was the piece of news yesterday that I missed. This from the Cryptic Poet. Ripple partner Axis Bank announces a partnership with Pay Nearby. So Axis Bank, India's third largest private sector bank, has partnered with Pay Nearby, India's largest bankless banking and digital service network, to offer seamless opening and savings and current bank accounts for both last mile retailers and customers. Enabled by Aadhaar-led authentication eKYC, the opening of these bank accounts at a nearby local store will ensure easy access, greater convenience, and a hassle-free process for customers. This partnership will empower Axis Bank and Pay Nearby to reach out to potential customers in remote regions of the country and address common issues faced by them, such as hassle of documentation, long processes, technology, lack of proximity, and fear of a formal environment. So we are seeing Ripple partner Axis Bank now leveraging new technology, Pay Nearby service, to streamline convenience. Branchless banking, this is becoming more and more popular as the years go on. I signed up for my first branchless bank back almost 20 years ago now, but that was like literally the first branchless bank that existed, and now we're seeing it more and more. We're seeing all these new companies pop up, and we're seeing it become more and more popular overseas, more underserved communities, unbanked communities. They're really hip to the idea of go to a branchless bank. I mean, if I can just do the banking on my phone and all I need is an internet connection and the fees are super, super low, well, why not do it that way? So just another development here from Ripple partner Axis Bank partnering with Pay Nearby. Wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. And at Apex 2022 in Las Vegas, David Schwartz did come out and presented there. This one from Michael Branch, Ripple XRPL users to deposit and withdraw assets on AMM instance pool. So let me just describe a little bit more what this is. A new amendment for automated market makers has been proposed as a pull request on the Rippled codebase. The AMM amendment was proposed by David Schwartz and RippleX's head of research, and Kamal Hortra. Through the amendment, Ripple users can deposit, withdraw, and govern on an AMM instance pool. So this is an automated market maker instance pool. In addition, the amendment will also incentivize liquidity providers on the native decentralized exchange, the XRPL decentralized exchange, or the XRPL DEX, thus boosting the capacity of XRP as a bridging currency. So automated market makers now, providing them incentive as liquidity providers. Furthermore, adding a feature on AMM instance will also increase the continuation of auctioning off trading advantages to arbiters for a fee, which will be given to liquidity providers. The development was shared by Jake, a Ripple enthusiast who tweets about the XRPL governance, so on and so forth. And so here is Jake's tweet thread here. It's a 5-tweet tweet thread if you guys want to read that. Regarding the governance mechanism, an AMM instance also provides governance rights to the largest stakeholders of the AMM instance. This allows them to vote on the trading fees, the instance charges, says Jake. With the amendment already live in a pull request on the Rippled codebase, the next phase is to pass the required testing before it is available on XRPL for voting. So this whole amendment screams liquidity, guys, and it does provide an incentive for market makers to provide liquidity to the XRPL. And so obviously liquidity begets liquidity. This is what Ripple has been saying for a while. This is really what's going to create XRP value. So aren't you happy you own XRP? David Schwartz breaks it down here even further. I'm not going to play you guys this clip because it is about, these two videos equal about 10 minutes, but I will link this in the description courtesy of James Rule XRP here. David Schwartz breaks down AMM, or Automated Market Maker, on the XRPL, liquidity, incentives. A good watch here if you guys are interested in that. And, just this morning in this morning's video, if you guys didn't catch it, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. I highlighted this tweet from RippleX, the official RippleX developer Twitter handle. The writing on the wall was clear. The XRP ledger was designed to be open, decentralized, secure, fast, and only becomes more decentralized over time. That was a quote from David Schwartz from the Apex event. I believe this was just from yesterday. So is this the secret sauce? And I believe it is. This coming from Tensa Gizla here on Twitter. It's Mr. Wallace. This is the secret sauce that David spoke about. A few questions though, please. When is the likelihood of this being able to vote on before Christmas? Does this mean more market makers will buy more XRP and hold? And is it thus reducing token supply? All very good questions. Wojak down here responding to this, no clue. It's still in review and the testing phase. Remember that the more complex and larger an amendment is, the longer it takes to test and review it. And to his question number 2, theoretically, yes, which just points again to the fact that more retail should be accumulating XRP if they want to participate in market-making activity. And I mean, considering XRP is down 83% since its most recent high of about $1.96 back in April of 2021, wouldn't this be a prime opportunity to buy and hold that XRP that you will one day use to make markets and provide liquidity in the future? And if the current system is in collapse, if it is in free fall, because of an energy crisis, and because of war in Russia and the Ukraine, currencies and many other assets are going to need to be tokenized. Now, Mr. Poole tweeted this out the other day. Collapse, and M13/22 has a theory about this, okay? He says he thinks it might mean collapse, but you can see the SE at the end of this could mean September or stock exchange. Now, if markets collapse, that's going to mean everything is going to collapse likely. And, a great time to reset, gobble up everything of value, wait, and prosper in the future. He goes on to say Bubba's timeline, meaning Bubba Cugs, how can this be, is a prediction of the ICE 9 event, the upcoming event they were talking about. Now, if you guys do not know what ICE 9 is, here's what it is. Here's Jim Rickards. I've showed this clip before. Jim Rickards talking about ICE 9, an allegory really, for what could be coming down the pipe and what is going to be part of this great financial reset. Listen to this.
Oh. If they succeed, they'll be able to freeze BlackRock when the crisis hits. BlackRock clients won't be able to sell. They won't be able to buy either. Their accounts will go dark indefinitely. And the elite operatives will take control of BlackRock's assets remotely via the internet. But our research shows that their ICE 9 plan goes much, much deeper than that.
Now, you refer to their plan as ICE 9. You just said that. What does that mean?
It's a reference to the Kurt Vonnegut novel, Cat's Cradle. In the book, a mad scientist creates a new form of water molecule called ICE 9. When it comes in contact with other water molecules, it freezes them at room temperature. One drop of Ice 9 can freeze the whole ocean. And that's what these elite operatives are about to do to the world economy.
So referring to something from a novel that can essentially, with one drop, can freeze water instantly. And this is what Jim Rickards is saying. He's likening this to what is going to happen next. Something similar may be underway financially when markets halt trading activity. If you shut down the New York Stock Exchange and I can't sell stocks and get cash, I'm going to sell my money market funds or redeem my money market funds. So you've got to shut down the market funds industry, and then people say, okay, I'll go to the bank or the ATMs, and then they go dark. You've got to shut down banks. So the point is, it spreads from exchange to money markets, to brokerage accounts, to banks, and you end up shutting down the entire system. Basically a nice 9 event. This continues by just kind of demonstrating how big BlackRock is. I don't think I have to play this clip, but I will leave this in the description of the video for you. We all know how big BlackRock is, the size of BlackRock, and how secretive they are in a lot of ways. So Black Swan incoming, was this all planned? I mean, some believe it has been from the beginning, starting in 2020 when the beer flu became very prominent, and I'm not going to get into any of those theories in this video. But, was it all planned? We were getting warnings even from last year. I don't know if you guys remember this video that I did back in the summer of last year. This is Colonel Potter, okay? He's a retired military colonel. And again, we got to remember the date on this. He posted this back in July of 2021. And he was getting information high at the top. Supply chain disruption, it's when it was first starting. I'm going to play you guys a clip from what he said back then. If you guys didn't catch the original video that I did at that time, listen to this.
All right, hello everyone. Today is the 23rd of July, 2021, and I thought I'd better put this up. I have a really good source that has contact with both active and retired military. Of course, I'm no longer with the military, but I'm very aware of how the military operates, obviously. And as I've been telling you for a long time, things are getting really nasty. We see what's happened with the supply chains, and I mentioned this yesterday, the ships offshore, the containers sitting and not being able to get transported or getting materials transferred to them, the rail lines being basically slowed down, even stopped. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, they're turning off the economy. And I think anybody knows that. I went to get gas this morning in Salt Lake City at a Costco. It's now $4 a gallon for premium, which is what I use in my car because I'm trying to extend its life. But at any rate, the point is that the shelves are getting bare. Energy is getting more scarce. We have all of these different things happening with what apparently are attacks on the grid. Hello, Marshall, how you doing? Attacks on the grid, cyber attacks, warnings from the elites that there are going to be all of these different cyber pandemics, etc., etc. In other words,
I'm just going to stop there real quick. Notice how he mentions warnings from the elites about cyber pandemics.
As I've said, they're attacking us on multiple fronts, in depth, and with full spectrum dominance. So I've been watching as people have been warning about the problem with the shutdowns and the supply, especially food and basic necessities. Well, I received a bit of information yesterday and further this morning that on certain military bases, and I imagine this is throughout the entire military, and I don't know about the enlisted ranks, okay, but apparently amongst the officers, especially the higher up officers, 04, 05, etc., they're being told to get their houses in order with what's coming. What they're saying is that they need to go out and get food, water, and supplies now. Now, you'd think that being on military installations, they would have access because the military has to continue taking care of their, hi Mrs. Cat, have to take care of their people. But that may not necessarily mean the families, especially in a bad situation. But whatever's going on, whatever it is, with the movement of materials, the military materials. I've talked about seeing some U.S. military tactical vehicles being stockpiled in places where they normally aren't, and a lot of people were saying, oh, this is because this is when they're doing their summer training. I know what happens in summer training, and these are not for summer training. Okay, that's not what's happening. They're repositioning vehicles. Something's getting ready to go down, I guess. And with this situation, with them telling the military officers to get their houses in order and to get supplies, food, water, etc., for themselves and their families, is critical. So that's inside information. No, I'm not going to give you the source. I think if you're smart enough, and I think most of you are, despite the trolls out there, that if you're watching any of this going on, you can see it anyway. You don't need me to tell you this, but the additional information that inside military folks are saying, get ready, you got to get yourselves supplied, because this is going to go south real quick.
And there you have it from a year ago. Fast forward to this year and look at where the state of the world is at. I don't have to go over it again, but I think you guys get my point. These guys have been warned for a while, and as you heard Colonel Potter talk about, it is a multi-pronged attack. They are trying to squeeze us plebes, guys. Be prepared. I know we hold a cryptocurrency that is going to transform the financial system, because that is just one part of that. Wanted to end this off with a tweet here from Matthew Liny. Wonder how much cryptocurrency will be moving if this turns out to be accurate. This is a Bank of America prediction, okay, by 2027, which coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, the WEF also put out a prediction that in 2027, 10% of the global GDP is going to be tokenized. And if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. And this is what Bank of America is saying, which, by the way, is a Ripple partner, $250 trillion of growth opportunity in new markets, but it also comes with challenges. These challenges has led to innovation in cross-border and real-time payment solutions, but also greater complexity. A global payment provider can lower payments and costs, enable netting of overall FX exposures, aggregate and make available trapped cash. But it's also going to bridge the gap between banks, between people, the legacy banking tech, and the front-end systems. Guys, it's all going to be tokenized, and XRP is going to be front and center. One of the cryptocurrencies that I definitely want to be holding when that time comes around. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.